Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy May 1st, 2025. So yeah, I'm excited tonight. It's been, I think, 3 weeks since I've gone live the last time. So my goal, I probably mentioned it before. I'd like to go live every couple weeks. Right now, it seems like the tool news coming in is a little bit quieter than it was like earlier in the 2025 season. So maybe since like the lawn care season's underway, a lot of those spring products have been announced. So anyways, yeah, let's see who's here. Mark Ostrowski, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Good to see you as well. And he says his night is doing good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, my day is going well. I've struggled trying to figure out the weather here in Michigan today. So it was supposed to be raining pretty much all day, but we had some rain and then some sunshine for a little bit, but not quite long enough that I felt like I was going to go out and mow. But I really do need to get out and mow because all the rain and sunshine we have lately, the grass is just growing like crazy. So I'm also, Jeremy's here too. Jeremy, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the Yarbo. I don't know if you guys have caught the Yarbo robot snowblower. Well, now I have the lawn mowing attachment, so I've been using it for about 5 or 6 days. So I have some short clips. This will be kind of a sneak peek for you guys. I haven't made my video yet. I'm going to make the video on that this weekend, probably showing some of the performance things, the capabilities of it, some of the things to maybe limitations that you might want to know if you're considering a robotic lawnmower. Mark says it's raining in Illinois too. Well, you know what? We get your weather typically, well, depending on where you're at, but Chicago weather tends to come to the mid-Michigan area about, I don't know, 10 to 12 hours, I'm guessing, somewhere like that, or the next day. So hopefully it's going north or south of here because I really need to get some mowing done tomorrow. So yeah, that's my plan. So yeah, I made a poll and let's see, it's kind of interesting. When I'm looking on my screen here, it just shows, for some reason, it's not showing all 4 answers. It shows mowing the lawn. I think something's cropped out. I'm trying to fit a lot of things in this screen over here. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of people are mowing the lawn and also some DIY projects. I'm going to get to the tool news in just a second, but just wait for a few people to join in. So it's something that just kind of occurred yesterday, making me realize this is a DIY project I have. We have in my house above the stove microwave that has the vent in it. So it started sparking last weekend and I did some searching, seeing what to do, and they were saying maybe there could be some burnt food, like when you have that glass plate and then the bottom of the microwave, there could be some burnt food in there. So I went in there and tried to scrape and clean everything because it was sparking like these big major pops and sparks. And the microwave's, boy, it's probably 20 plus years old. And some people are saying like just the wear and tear, or maybe some of the paint could be chipping or wearing out. And if maybe there's bare metal showing that it could cause it to spark. Well, we've had so many different things going on with that microwave. So I'm thinking this weekend I'm going to replace it. So I hope it's not too difficult. I might make a video on that, just showing, like, sometimes when things break around my house, I'll consider whether or not I should make a video on it. And half the time I'm thinking, nah, it's not, there might not be an audience for it. But most of the time when I do something like that, it's surprising how many people are so thankful that I've made a video on that. For example, there was a dipstick that got stuck. I was checking the oil of my wife's minivan at the time. That's what she had back then. And I was trying to take the dipstick out and all of a sudden it snapped. And the rest of the tube, or the rest of the dipstick, was down inside the tube. Just that little yellow ring popped off. So I figured a way with the drill and a certain screw and attaching it to that, I was able to pull it out. So I thought, well, I'll make a video on that just because I was glad to be able to fix it. And it's amazing how many people thank me for making that video. I mean, I would have to go and look, but I'm guessing I probably have about 150,000 people that have viewed that video, and it's a lot on the Chrysler vehicles, but someone just the other day said they had a Mazda, all different types of vehicles. I think even a BMW recently. So let's see, let's go to the comments here a second. I want to just double check because I'm looking at two different screens that have the comments on it. Yeah, I think I'll go to this one over here. So let's see. Yeah, Mark said he cut his grass last week. Yeah, the way it's going, when we cut our grass here, I think about 4 days later, it looks like it needs it again, at least some of the lawns. My front lawn just seems to need mowing constantly. It's a little bit lower. Jeremy and Mark are saying hi. Jeremy, he mowed last week as well. All right, so let's get into the tool news a minute. Let's see. I didn't really get a chance. I didn't get a chance to really go through and make sure everything's working right. I did see a small glitch, but I think I fixed it, but we'll see how it goes. So this week, there has only been, I think there's one announcement from Milwaukee this week, one last week, and I didn't see anything from Ryobi and Rigid. So let's see what Milwaukee has. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Wrong one. We're going to get to that trivia in just a few minutes. All right, so let's check this out. And I just want a quick mention, if you hear anything wrong with my microphones, I tried to go through and make sure that I don't have any echoing going on. I tried to do the adjusting last time I did. So let me know if you hear that or not. So we'll go ahead and play this. All right, so this is what's new from Milwaukee. See, this one I believe was this week, if I'm not mistaken, or it could have been last week. But anyways, this tool right here was announced last year at World of Concrete for the first time in 2024. And it was shown at the Pipeline event again in the summer 2024. And people were anticipating this to be launched, but it hasn't until now. They're making the announcement for it that it's ready to go, and I'll get the price and the ship date for you, or when the availability. So this is really a great dust extractor. I'll talk about it and I'll show some of the highlights, but I have one that is corded that's similar to this, and it's really great. It has that HEPA filter. So if you're vacuuming sawdust or concrete dust, you don't have that silica issue. So this is the M18 9-gallon dual battery dust extractor with pack out compatibility and VacLink kit. So that is something else. The other vacuum the dust extractor I have doesn't have that pack out. That was actually before pack out. So I probably had it about 6 years now, I'm guessing. So you can see they're hooking up to a table saw with some pack out accessories on top. They're hooking up to a miter saw. And right here, they're drilling, looks like a poured wall. So that's the silica dust, the concrete. So let's check out some of the stats on this right here. So this is the M18 Fuel 9-gallon. Yeah, I think I mentioned this. I should ask you guys first what your price guess would be. This actually shocked me. And I remember hearing the price at the different Milwaukee events I've been at. So yeah, $13.99 is the MSRP. This has the automatic filter cleaning mechanism. If you've ever been around this type of vacuum dust extractor, you might hear like every so often it makes a clunk sound. It sounds like somebody's like tapping something. And what's happening is there's a filter and it's being tapped. So probably every 15 seconds or so, I'm not sure. I think you can adjust how frequent you want it. So when that dust is being drawn into this filter, let's say this is a filter and this is the dust going through it, the air is pulling it through. So if instead of it'll stick to that, instead of it staying on there permanently, it'll do that clunk sound and that'll kind of shake it. It's like kind of abrupt shake, and it'll pull that dust back off. So that just gives you a longer life. It's really a pretty cool thing. I don't think I made a video on my other one. If I get a chance to do this, to review this one, I really want to show that. It's really pretty cool feature. And this has the VacLink wireless dust control technology, which we'll see in just a few minutes. And then it has a max power mode, which delivers up to 41 minutes of continuous cleaning. So there's a few more things. We're going to look at a video here quickly, and I'll just talk a little bit about this. Mark says, do you know that DeWalt has a new compactor? Is that like the jumping jack one for like stone? If that's what you're talking about, I did, let's see. Yeah, at World of Concrete 2024, I did test that. DeWalt had a new jackhammer. Yeah, that's what in one of my videos from World of Concrete, I showed that product. All right, let's see what else. Taking a look at a few more examples of it in use. That's like a cup disc grinding the floor, the concrete, a palm sander, drilling into the concrete floor again.
Power is great. Honestly, probably the most powerful extractor I've used.
The automatic filter cleaning gives you a lot more suction for a lot more time.
The flexibility is nice. Sometimes if you have a longer runtime application, you want the corded power, but having the battery is convenient.
You're not going to be able to use a plug all the time, so being able to have the 4 batteries there gives you so many options for so many different applications.
Backlink streamlines my workflow, just a lot less wasted steps, makes just everything more convenient.
Vacuuming saves me time. I'm not running back and forth to a vacuum to turn it on as I'm using a tool.
It is a nice feature. Sometimes I'll loop the remote on my belt, and so it's easy to turn on and off.
Pack-out system is great, eliminates time and making multiple trips.
The ability to put your pack outs on top and then just move a whole unit at once is nice.
Cleanliness is an important thing for us. This eliminates the problem and makes our job a lot easier.
All right, so I just want to talk really quick about that. So yeah, as you notice, it has that vac link. So it's that thing you put on your wrist so you can turn it on and off. It's a remote control. So I've been looking for something like, even with the other corded model that I have, the plug-in, something that it would just be nice to be able to like have a remote like that. I believe it's Metabo was the first one. They came out with something so you can put it around the tool, and when the tool turns on, it starts vibrating. That signals the dust extractor to turn on, and then when you shut your sander off, then it will shut off like after about 7 seconds of running, just to get the rest of that dust or sawdust out. So the wrist one, I think that's a good compromise to that. Maybe if you're using different tools, it might make more sense to just have the one on the wrist. So I don't know, what do you guys think? All right, let's see the other tool. So only two tool announcements this week. So this is another one from Milwaukee. This was actually announced at the 2025 World of Concrete event. We'll get to the specs on this in a second. All right, so this is the M18 Fuel number 10 rebar cutter. Cuts up to 1.25 inches. The MSRP $699. I apologize, I didn't put the release date on there. I can put it in the video description down below. Designed for faster cutting and less sparks. Delivers 2-second cuts in number 5 rebar. Number 5 rebar is 5/8. Has 2,000 RPM power state brushless motor and RedLink Plus intelligence. Let's take a look at a few of the clips here. You see the blade change. Some replacement blades. So they're getting ready to pour a flooring instead of cutting the rebar there. Pretty thick stuff. So I'm pretty sure it has onboard tool storage. All right, so now, all right, I mentioned the Yarbo robotic lawnmower. So I'm going to just show you a little sneak peek of what I have going on right here. So you can set it to mow different patterns. You can have it do like the long stripes. You can have it do like a big circle. If you have like one of those riding lawnmowers that has a steering wheel, people tend to just do a big circle in their yard. You can have it do like a checkerboard pattern. And then you can also program it so when it's done mowing those stripes right there, the next time it goes out, you can set how many degrees that you want the next set of stripes. So I think I have it set at 30 degrees. So that way you're not getting the same ruts from the tracks. You're continually changing it up so your lawn has, I call it like the memory of the grass. So when you're pushing the grass down, it doesn't create those patterns and ruts. So I've seen some people that have mowed their lawn the same exact way every time, and you can just see the the way the tires, where they go, the ruts, or the way the grass blades are pushed one way and then the other way. And it's nice to mix it up. I think that's definitely the best way to do it. So here you can just get a look to see like how fast. I'll hit play again. So I just hit stop minute. So you can just hear a slight hum. That's the mower blades, but the sound of the wheels or the tracks turning, that's the loud squeaky part. So, yeah, so that definitely overpowers the mower. The mower, and when I have my video, I'll completely cover it. But if you guys have anything you'd like to know about this robotic mower, please let me know either in the comments here or down below. I'd like to see if there's something that I'm not thinking about to cover in my review of this. Let me know. I'd be happy to show whatever questions you have, just to show how it performs and answer your questions. And then here's a look at the stripes. So I just want to point out, when you look at that, it's probably about 150 feet long. And I would say, it's fairly bumpy. And I'm really quite amazed how straight those are. It does a nice job. I'd almost like to do a comparison with my zero-turn mower and then have you guys vote on who does straighter lines, a robot or me. And I've had a lot of practice. I can't tell you how many thousands of hours I've spent on a zero-turn mower. The one area I did lawn care for a while. I had one customer, he had a 5-acre parcel, and it was a really nice long stretch of lawn, and it went up and over a hill. So you couldn't see from the one end to the other if your stripes are lining up. So my hope was when I went over that hill that I would continue going straight. And I would often look for trees and try to find something. But I would often, as I went over the hill, you just kind of see the lines just kind of like bowing a little bit like that. Just because it's hard to, you can't see the whole straight line. I don't even know how many feet long it was. It was very long. And I'd like to see with a robotic mower how it would do over that hill, just to see like going that length, what it would look like. Just like fly a drone overhead. I think that'd be cool to see. Especially like doing a comparison like human versus robot. So yeah, that is it there. Oh yeah. So we're going to go to some trivia. I'm not sure. It seems kind of quiet here tonight. I'm not sure how many people are here. It's kind of nice out, so there might be people out doing yard work. So hopefully someone's here to answer some trivia questions. I was going to look at that poll a minute. Yeah, DIY repairs. I'll go back over here a second. 60%. So I'm going to end that poll right there. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, so here's a breakdown. 60% DIY, 40% mowing the lawn. No one's cleaning the garage. That's something that I often do on the weekends. And nobody's just relaxing. I guess it's that time of year. Everyone's waiting for spring and the nice weather. And so, yeah, I guess, yeah, those DIY repairs, especially going outdoors, is much nicer if you're doing anything on the outside of your house, which I can think of something I have to do probably tomorrow for sure. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to be relaxing, but hopefully at the end of the day, I'll get the solo stove going and enjoy a nice little fire like late in the day near the sunset time. All right. So we're going to go to the trivia question. So you guys ready? Okay. So which of the following power tools was invented first? The cordless drill, B, the jigsaw, C, the circular saw, or D, the angle grinder? Which of the following power tools was invented first? A, cordless drill, B, jigsaw, C, circular saw, or D, angle grinder? All right, we're coming up to the end here. Let's see if anybody... Oh, Jeremy says the cordless drill. The answer is circular saw. Hey, Mark, are you still there? Looks like only Jeremy's playing the game. So this one kind of tricked me. This is slightly a trick question. So the cordless drill is actually battery powered, but maybe the actual corded drill that plugs in, the answer is actually, yeah, the circular saw. I forget what, somewhere I had the answer. Let me just look real quick when that was invented. Oh yeah, hang on real quick. I just want to tell you when. Oh, it said the first circular saw was developed in the late 18th century, well before the invention of electric jigsaws, cordless drills, and angle grinders. All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's see. All right, let me go back to the questions here. Jeremy says, what's the difference between a wood chipper and a tub grinder? I don't really know what a tub grinder is. That's a good question. I do have some, or maybe you're saying a stump grinder. I had a stump removed a couple years ago, and it looks like with like the wintertime, the freeze and thaw, that there's like the level ground. It looks like that stump is starting to come out of the ground a little bit. I might take an axe to it and try to chop it and then get the lawn going. So, okay, Mark's, yeah, he's here. So both said A, yeah, the cordless drill. I was going to look to see between the corded drill and the circular saw, which one's first, but I don't know that answer right offhand. All right, let's go to the next question. We have 3 questions, so 1/3 of the way done. Okay, what's the fastest way to dull a brand new chainsaw chain? A, using the wrong chain size. B, cutting a cord of red oak. C, cutting the ground while cutting. Or D, cutting in freezing temperatures. What's the fastest way to dull a brand new chainsaw chain? A, using the wrong size chain. B, cutting the cord of red oak, that's hardwood. C, cutting the ground while cutting. Or D, cutting in freezing temperatures. Let's see what you guys think. You can redeem yourself here. The answer is C, cutting the ground while cutting. So it's the live when I'm talking and doing this is about 15 seconds ahead. So hopefully, okay. Oh, George came in. Hey, George, how you doing? So I don't see your answers before this ends. So George said C. Yep, he definitely, I'm guessing you've had some experience there. As soon as, I think I read somewhere, if you hit the ground for a few seconds, that could be the equivalent to dulling your chain as much as like cutting wood for like a couple hours. I think just when you hit that ground, I never realized, when I first got a chainsaw, I'm like trying to cut the limb or something right near the ground and just making sure I go all the way through the limb, hitting the ground thinking it's not going to do anything. And man, it really dulls it fast. So I definitely learned that quick. So George says, good evening, Mark and gang. Oh, all right. So Mark and Jeremy, everyone said C. So it looks like everyone has some chainsaw experience. So the third question is going to be a little bit more difficult. One of the other optional answers I could have put in is lending your chainsaw out to a buddy. So that could probably be equivalent with C. So yeah, let's go to the next one. Which of the following tools can detect voltage through insulation without making direct contact with a conductor? A, a clamp meter. B, a voltage tester pen, which is the non-contact tester. C, a continuity tester. Or D, a receptacle tester. Which of the following tools can detect voltage through insulation without making direct contact with a conductor? Clamp meter, voltage tester pen, continuity tester, or receptacle tester. And just a little bit coming in, Jeremy is saying clamp meter on this one. He had the early vote. The answer is actually B, the voltage tester pen. I don't have one here. I don't know if you've ever seen one that's Yeah, let's just, I'm trying to find something, just say it's something like this and it beeps, it goes dit, 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 dit. When you start getting close to a wire, so a lot of times if I'm changing, let's say like a ballast in like a fluorescent light or maybe like a light switch, I just want to make sure like the breaker is off. So after the breaker's off, well, before the breaker's off, I'll take that tester and I'll go up like near the black wire and you'll hear it dit, 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 chirping. And then when you flip the breaker, if you know you have the right one, just to be safe, I'll bring that up next to it again. If it doesn't do anything, then you know that you're good and you can go ahead and change whatever and touch that black wire with your bare hands and you're good. Oh, I do have something interesting to say. I see, yeah, going back, George said, yeah, hitting dirt or worse, rocks. Yeah, that's really bad. Even, yeah, some hidden metal mesh, or even like I've picked some nails up before, like cutting, like probably some trees that were from the city, and they put a sign up on the tree, and then the tree grows around the nail. So, like a client, yeah, George, yep. And the NCV tester, so the SNV, I'm not exactly sure which one that is, but I just want to answer, just give you the factual stuff on this. Sorry, this is going to take just a second to find. I should have had it. Okay, so it says non-contact voltage testers can sense electrical fields emitted by AC voltage through insulation, making them the go-to for quick, easy checks. A clamp meter is primarily designed to measure current amperage, and it does that by detecting the magnetic field around a conductor, but only when the current is actively flowing. It does not detect voltage through insulation the same way that a non-contact voltage tester does. So yeah, those are my 3 questions. Let's go to the last screen here. Oh, the caps, non-contact voltage tester. Yep. Yeah, I was around an electrician probably like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't do a lot of electrical stuff. I am a licensed home builder, and my specialty is, I'm not doing it anymore, but for most of my life growing up, and then 15 years after college, we'd hire an electrician we did prefab housing, and when we'd hire the electrician to do like the final connections, a lot of times I'm around to do some of the things and watching them, but I'm also busy. Like we'd hire a plumber and do the final connections and all that. So I really am not somebody who's been like right from let's say scratch. We do a turnkey home, and most of the modules show up and they're lifted with a crane. So that's my experience with home building. So I haven't really been around the electricians to like become an expert. I know enough to be dangerous, but when I see them using a cool tool, then I usually buy it, because there are some times where I'm doing some minor tweaking things. So even in my own house. So it's, yeah, just nice to know. I'd like to know what the new technology is with tools and keep up on it. George says, I was thinking about some clamp meters have NCV testers built in. Yeah, I am trying to learn more about those clamp meters. I did get one a couple years ago, and I had an electrician show up on a project in this commercial building, and I was asking him some questions and actually trying to learn a little bit more how to use my clamp meter. I mostly use it for like a multimeter, things like that. So yeah, that's all I really have today. It's been great for you guys to all stop by, and we'll see like what kind of tool news we have. I have a couple ideas. If some tool news doesn't come rolling in, I might want to like respond to some comments from my previous videos, or somebody asking a question that's like a little bit too difficult to explain and like typing it out. I might try to set something up like where I have a little work area. I do have another camera that I could hook up where I think I can like hit a switcher, hit a button, and it'll then go to the table where I'm at and potentially give me a mic to clip on instead of just using this mic. So I'm kind of a person who's into technology as well too. So I'm looking forward to figuring that out so we can mix things up a little bit when the tool news gets a little quiet. George says, I haven't had the occasion to have the test through installation. Yeah, when you're, just before touch, like if you're taking a switch, I've been doing some things lately, like putting an automatic light switch in the bathroom instead of having to flick the switch. So yeah, it's nice just to go with that non-contact and hear if it chirps. It's very quick and easy way to make sure you're not going to get zapped. I've been zapped a few times, and yeah, it's not fun. George says he got off work early and just lucky to catch y'all. Wanted to pop in and say hi. Yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm thinking the 8 o'clock time. I don't know if people are going to be around at 9 o'clock. I've kind of gone between the two times debating. So for me, 9 would probably work better, but sometimes I think it gets to be a little bit too late. So if you guys have any comments on that, let me know down below. Be interested to hear what you guys think, what works for your schedule too, because I guess there are people I'm in Eastern time, but a lot of people could be tuning in from Central or Mountain time, Pacific. So maybe 9 o'clock isn't that bad. Let me know down below. Be curious to hear what you have to say. So yeah, that is all I have for tonight. It's been about 30 minutes so far. So thank you, each and every one of you, for voting. And yeah, good evening to y'all. Good evening, George, and Mark and Jeremy. So that's it for now. Talk to you guys later. See you next time.